Good evening and welcome once again to another edition of Schenectady Online with Joe Kelleher. I, of course, am Joe Kelleher. Thanks once again for joining us. It is August 7th in 2014. It's about 5:20 in the evening. We're off to a little bit of a late start, had a little internet connection issues and some technical problems, but we are up and online thanks to the fine folks here at Schenectady Access Cable Council, sacc.tv. You can check us out anytime on the internet or watch us on, now we're on channel 16 or your local public access station. So make sure you check us out anytime. And some of you know, check out our Facebook page at Schenectady Online with Joe Kelleher. You can find the Facebook page there. Send us a note. Let us know how you like it, things you'd like to see. Send us your comments. Or just let us know how you think we're doing or what you think we could do better to serve you, the people here right into the city of Schenectady and the surrounding area. Several things to talk about, but the first thing I want to do is say a special thank you to a lot of folks. Over the past couple weekends, I had some fundraisers for a campaign that I'm running right now, and the folks really came out and were just so helpful, and I want to thank the fine folks. Especially folks like my friend Chef Philip Bowden, who did some fantastic desserts. He's a pastry chef who did some fantastic stuff and created some great sweet treats for us at both of the events that we had. Philip, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have you at all these events, and thank you for bringing some sunshine to us and bringing some of your sweet delights, if you will, out to some of these events. Donnie Birch over at the Sawmill Tavern, God bless you, man. Thank you so much for bringing the pig out to the pig roast last weekend. We had such a great time and everybody really enjoyed themselves. Mike and Johnny from the Best Bet Band, you guys were absolutely fantastic. Thank you for your entertainment, all that you provided. And again, the fine veterans over at the American Legion Post 1092, 1809 Union Street. They just never let me down. They're such great friends and such great people. God bless you guys. We appreciate everything that you've done for our country and everything you continue to do for our community. And thank you for being my friends. And I truly appreciate that. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You guys are always there for me and I truly appreciate it. But we want to continue promoting the American Legion, of course, and all of our veterans. Make sure you stop by any given Saturday morning, and you'll likely see my wife and Linda and I there for breakfast, at least for a little while. Even if we're on the run, we always make sure to stop by there on Saturday mornings, and we hope to see you there too. The big stories right now, well, we've got some things happening with some dangerous dogs in the city of Schenectady. We've got some things happening with the reassessment, or should I say, not happening with the reassessment. We'll get to that in a little bit. And plenty of community events, and we'll get to each and every one of those things in just a few moments. Thanks very much, Randy. We've got the background music going over here. We've got all kinds of things going on. So, you ever want to be who do you want to see on our panel over here? Who do you want to see me talking to for Schenectady Online that we can have out over this way? Let us know on that Facebook page or get in touch with us through sacc.tv. We'd love to hear from you. Taking a look at the stories, we want to start off with this one here. As many of you may have heard, there were some dangerous dogs that were confiscated, if you will, here in the city of Schenectady and did some damage to a smaller dog with a woman that was walking through the community. Now, we saw that at her speak at the city council meeting, and the dogs were taken from the animal shelter. And there were allegedly some family had it. There was an article in the paper. Now, just today, the dogs were returned and they're brought back over to the shelter. However, both the news agencies and our very own Councilman Vince Riggi made an effort to go and see the conditions at this shelter where these animals are being held and to find out how they could have possibly gotten taken from there. And interestingly enough, they were not allowed. Neither cameras nor our very own councilman were allowed into the facility. So we're going to follow up a little bit more on that story and we'll let you know more about that. but are these dangerous dogs a real issue in this area? And apparently, they certainly are. We don't even know how much we don't even hear about. Now, not only is Vince Riggi working on some legislation, and you can find his Riggi report online. He just did one back, I'm going to say about a week and a half ago, where he talked about some of these dangerous dogs that are out and about in the areas over here. And they are looking, along with Jim Tedesco, are looking at legislation to make the public aware of when these dangerous dogs are in your area. So that's all in the works right now. There's some legislation. At first, it seemed that Mayor McCarthy at one of the last city council meetings spoke in that and said that he was not interested in having this. Information like this should be available by the state, just like the sex offender registry is. Well, we have a registry, a sex offender registry, and you as an individual can go up and be made aware and be alerted when these sex offenders move into your area. Inasmuch, we should still have the access to find out when these dangerous dogs are in our area too. So why not start a registry like that as well? Well, Mr. McCarthy, we don't have any kind of a registry like that as of yet. Now, the information may be out there and it may be public, but not all the public has the savvy to go out there and find that information. So why not us, the city of Schenectady and the surrounding areas, be the first in the area to put this type of an opportunity of information out there for people to know. The city of Saratoga, different areas of Saratoga County, different areas in Albany, different areas in the Rensselaer County, and even right here in the city of Schenectady have these notification numbers that you can go in and call. You can go online and sign your telephone up. You can sign your email address up. You can even get sent text messages. I get them on my phone all the time for when severe weather is coming into the area or when there's some kind of a water emergency. I did it when I lived in Saratoga. I did it when I lived in Mechanicville. I did it when I lived in Pennsylvania. I don't see that opportunity for me to sign up right here in the city of Schenectady. And that's something that we can redirect some of the funding that we have here in the city if we watch how our budget is set and we're a little bit more cautious about where we spend our money and how that money is spent. Isn't public safety more important than paying paying twice or four times the amount of the cost of a real project to who that might go to? Let's be a little bit more cautious and let's be a little bit more efficient with our funds. So you can find out more about this. There's an article in yesterday's paper of the Daily Gazette about how the judge ordered the dogs back. And Vince and myself will certainly be looking into this further about the dangerous dogs in the area, and so that you can know what's happening and what we need to take care of and how you can stay informed of the dangerous dogs in your area too. Moving right along, one of the things we talked about in the last segment was about the reassessment. And it seemed that the mayor is not too fond of having the citywide reassessment be done at this point. Apparently what they're looking for is to allow the city to be in more of a financial stability so that they can manage this $3 million project of a citywide reassessment, which is what was stated inside the Tuesday's Gazette about the Schenectady mayor opposing the reassessment of the citywide reassessment. But if you take a look at some of the city council notes and the agendas from some of the last meetings, you saw how different businesses in the area have had, and different owners in the area have had their properties reassessed and reassessed at a lower price, not only for 2014, but some of them for as far back as 5 years ago, back in 2009. So all that reassessment, what they've paid so far, they may not get that back in a lump sum, but what's going to happen is going forward, there's a prorated amount. So they may not have to pay as much over the next several years. So where does the burden fall for the budget to be maintained at the current It falls on the city residents like you and me. Now, as I mentioned at the last show, my wife and I went and asked for our property to be reassessed. All we're asking for is that it to be assessed at the current value of property value. And that's no different than anybody else would do, okay? And if the property values were going up, what would happen in any other municipality in the entire nation is the property value would be reassessed and you would be taxed on that property value. Well, the same thing would happen here in the city of Schenectady. And in my walkabouts throughout the city, and I've spoken with a lot of people who have said that when they went to get refinanced, they couldn't because their property values had gone down and it wouldn't be cost effective for the bank to reassess their property. It's a losing proposition here, folks. It's not, the writing's on the wall. We're paying per capita, we're the highest taxed city in the entire country. Excuse me, I want to put it in the entire state, but per capita, if you take a look by comparison at other cities across the nation, we're pretty close to the top there. We may not be much out of our pocket, but remember what I said, it's per capita, okay? So that means with the amount of money that we're taking in, the amount of the taxes, percentage-wise, is higher here in the city of Schenectady than it is in any other city in the entire state of New York. Take a look at that. All that information is online it's at the state's website, the State Taxation and Finance website. All that information is up over there. Go take a look for yourself. Look, I put this information out there for all of you. I found out the information myself, but that doesn't mean I want you to take my word for it. I want all of you out there to go and do your homework. That's what this information is for. If the Schenectady Online part is all this information can be found out online. It really can. The information that we talked about with who voted when it went to the Emancipation Proclamation, when we talked about Lincoln, and all that information, that's available online. Now, I don't want you to think about that silly commercial where it says about the woman who got her date on the internet and he's a French model because everything on the internet is true. Well, okay, not everything on the internet is true, but this, my friends, these are on valid websites that you can find. We're talking about the Department of Taxation and Finance. We're talking about information that's available from the federal government, and we're talking about information that's available from the city and county websites over here, okay? So there's, for as much as there's a lot of negative and trash on the internet, there's a lot of good information out there, and what it was originally meant for was for emergency notifications through the military. Take a look back at that, and that you'll be able to find. Going back to the reassessment, the mayor's not looking for the reassessment right now. And why is that? If you take a look at where our finances are right now, the party that's in control is too addicted to the funds that are coming in. This goes to the same thing, and excuse me for just one moment, I've just got an itch on my eye. If you take a look at this information, where people have talked about the casinos, people that are speaking very fondly and promoting the casinos, they're talking about all the good that they've brought into the community. But what we find out is happening, and if you take a look at some of the studies, they're so fond of as much money that is coming into the area that if they say anything negative about those casinos, they're afraid that that money's going to go away. And that's what happens. They get less dependent on one another, and they become, some of these municipalities and such become so dependent on that income that they have coming in from casino gambling that they're afraid of the chance of losing it. That's not a chance that they're willing to take. But if you take a look at some of the information, does the good really outweigh the bad? You folks have to do the homework on that. I can tell you that I think the casino project over here was a bad deal, and it still is a bad deal. but we still have the opportunity to put a squash on it. We still have the opportunity to put a movie studio right here down at the Mohawk Harbor. We still have the opportunity of the Mohawk Harbor making it as a lot of retail space. And as I mentioned in one of the shows, look at all the stores that are around us that are retail that are starting to close. Jobs would still be in the area, and some of them would very much be union jobs because construction happens all the time at some of these shopping malls. And if folks who are part of unions, if you're looking for union jobs, they're going to be more constant if you have a shopping plaza in there as opposed to a particular casino. The casino would only bring it in for a short time. When that's done, it's done. There are no more union jobs. But if you look at retail space and how things get changed around in that so frequently, there's going to be more opportunity for long-term jobs if you have a business like that in retail, and even even talk of putting in some of the co-ops down here on Erie Boulevard, rather. So we'll look into that a little bit further as time goes forward too. But this reassessment, it would be a good thing for the city. It would put things more into perspective. And if we got out of this bad deal that the city has with the county for the sales tax, that's something else on top that the city could capitalize on and replace the revenue that they're getting from some of the property taxes. As it stands, Larry Spring, he's doing a really great job. The school taxes are something separate, but these school taxes, they're killing us too. We need to make sure that we're getting the proper amount of funding from the school taxes and from the state, and the fair amount, instead of the 200 plus amount that they're getting, of the 200% that they're getting in some of the surrounding schools. We need to make sure that we're getting a little bit more than 57% of what we're supposed to be getting here in the city. Take a look at those numbers and those figures and see how much our property values, our property taxes would go down if we got some of that proper funding. We need to take care of our kids, and the Schenectady needs to secure our future. We need to do it for ourselves because the people who are supposed to be looking after us really aren't. Do some homework on that and find out where the money's really going. Let's look a little bit further on this here because you know what? There's a lot of great happening, and I've always said that. There's a lot of good happening in Schenectady for all the negative stuff that we see happening at some of the city council meetings and at the governmental level, which is why I want to make a difference there. But taking a look at some of the community events that are going on, I want to go back because the Dan DiNicola Film Festival over at Pareca's is going on. Now, I missed it last week because I had an event going on already, and unfortunately I'm going to miss it this week. But we went the first week to see Moonstruck. Sat there for a bit, and boy, that is one funny movie. Growing up in an Italian-Irish household up in Saratoga, I saw some of the things that they did, and boy, did it bring back some memories. Some of the things that they were saying and some of the mannerisms. Wow, it really brought back a lot of memories. But let's take a look and see what's playing this weekend. We've got August 8th coming up. It's Fellini's 8.5 is coming up this weekend on Friday night. So make sure you stop by over there. I'll tell you what, if you have the opportunity to sit out on the deck there, the patio that they have in back of Pareca's, you can see it one way right there, and you'll see it forward. Okay, that's the direction that they play it from, and have some of the great Pareca's food. But if you sit back in the parking lot, well, you see the movie from the backside of the screen, but they're just as good. Don't let that fool you because it's absolutely fantastic. And they even have a food stand out over there with some of Pareca's great foods, their Italian ice, drinks, you name it, they've got it out over that way, and it's absolutely fantastic. Pareca's, thank you so much. You guys do a fantastic job all the time. So let's take a look at some of the other events that are going on in the area. And I just moved past it. I tell you, yesterday I had the opportunity to go over to the Slick Picnic. That's the 2014 Slick Picnic, and Slick, of course, is Schenectady Landlords Influencing Change. And this is a group of landlords that really want to see some positive things happen with Schenectady, not only with the code enforcement coming in and telling them the information that they need to know ahead of time. So, pardon me, the property values, or rather the properties can be properly prepared to have tenants inside, but also in maintaining it and letting the tenants know what they need to know to maintain also. What are their responsibilities, what are the landlord's responsibilities? But the picnic went very, very well. I was able to provide some of the music for them, and the people were absolutely fantastic. So Chris Morris, Mohammed Hafez, thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure to see you all again. And I will see some of you next week at the Mount Pleasant Neighborhood Association Annual Community Picnic, happening on August 14th at 6 p.m., rain or shine. It's going to be at the Faith Deliverance Tabernacle Church on Ostrander Place. It's at the corner of Crane Street. They'll have a tent outside, and if it does happen to rain and it gets rough like it did last year, we just moved inside by a little stage and a cafeteria, and I'll be providing the entertainment for that one over there. They're going to have hot dogs, beverages. People are bringing a dish to share. You can contact Sharon Lynn, my dear friend Sharon Lynn, and her number is 393-2116 or slivinglife@aol.com. And always a great time over there. My friends Patty and Donna are going to be up there too, and I really look forward to seeing them. We had such a great time last night, and I know we're going to have another great time next week. A couple of things happening in Bellevue. As a matter of fact, tonight, happening right now, Bellevue's Farmers Market. It's going on from 4 o'clock until 7. They do that every week at 2176 Broadway. Lots and lots of vendors up over that way. In fact, one of the things what I mentioned at the last show, and I didn't quite have all the information, I've got it right here now. And that's about, it says, attention veterans, if you have the ability to use SNAP program, which is the EBT food program with the cards, you can increase your buying power by 40% by shopping at a farmer's market to purchase fresh, local, eligible foods. You can use your EBT card, and you'll receive a $2 Fresh Connect check for each $5 you spend. Okay, so if you use $20 off your card, you receive an additional $8 in Fresh Connect checks, and those can be used right at the farmers market. These checks are available at the farmers market, the Bellevue Farmers Market, Broadway. They've got local corn, tomatoes, potatoes. Barber's Farm is there, Bellaterra. Burmaster Farm, Broadway Lunch, Napoli Bakery. Got to come and see you guys real soon. You did a great job for me last time. There's no place like home, home-baked sweets and cookies. And wow, every time I walk by this tent, it just makes me stop and smell. And I would love to take each of those buffets home with me. It's so delicious. Really great foods up over that way. So stop and see them at Bellevue. Now, also happening this weekend at up in the Bellevue area is their community picnic. The community picnic is going on Fairview Park. It's Campbell Avenue and 6th Street, and that's from 12:30 to 4:30 p.m. on Saturday, August 9th. This is their 15th year. All of the Bellevue residents, family and friends are invited. They encourage you to bring your lawn chair, because they have a live band over there. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the live band is going to be Vince Riggy's band once again. And he always puts on a good show. They always put on a good show, I should say. It's the Rogues, they're called. And they'll have a Chinese auction, 50-50 raffle, pony rides, Ladybug the Clown, Bon Bon doing face painting, the Sheriff's Safe Child Program, the Schenectady Fire Department Smokehouse for fire education, and in case you get hungry, of course, hot dogs, soda and water, pizza, cookies, free book for every child. It's always a great event. Stop by, see the wonderful things they have going on that way, and pay attention to some of the things happening in your area. Check out the Schenectady United Neighborhoods Facebook page, or check out the Facebook page for your local community. If you go to cityofschenectady.com, you can look at the neighborhood association pages and contact your neighborhood association president. See what's going on in your area, see how to get involved, and take an active role in your community. That's the way that we can find out how to make the city a better place to live, And when you take that active role and you go and speak up at City Council and you voice your opinions and you voice your concerns, you let people know that you want change. Or if you like things the way that they are, you can tell them that you like things the way that they are and you don't want them to change. You know what? This show is not about what I want to see happen in the city of Schenectady. It's to keep you folks informed and tell you where to find the information. And there's plenty of information out there. Take the time and educate yourself. If you need help, you need guidance, by all means, I will do it as unbiased as I possibly can. There's some things, as you can tell, that I get very passionate about. And taking care of things like the veterans, taking care of my community and the people, my friends and neighbors are very important to me. Incidentally, I want to thank the folks from the Schenectady City Republican Committee, especially Mike Cuevas and the team who helped me with securing the endorsement and making sure that I'm on the ballot in November. And this is not to lean anyone in a political fashion, but you know what? I've got a great team behind me, and I couldn't do without you. And I appreciate all the help that you guys do and all the guidance that you guys do. I'm not a politician. That's all I can say. I'm not a career politician. I don't aspire to be one. I just want to be what the government originally was meant to be, something that was governed by the people, for the people, created by the people, and done so by the people. I'm a working man, just like many of you who are watching me right now, and I appreciate everything that you do and to keep me working. And I want to be out there for you as well and be a voice. And one that's voted by the people and not necessarily appointed by the people who just feel it's been the best interest of the residents to keep a one-party control. Folks, that's all we have time for today. Thank you very much for stopping by. It's been a pleasure to be here for you. I'm Joe Kelleher. Welcome. Thank you once again for visiting Schenectady Online with Joe Kelleher. See us we do it about right before the City Council meetings, every Thursday before the City Council meetings, which happen on the second and fourth Mondays of every evening. So we are the previous Thursdays, whichever they might be. So make sure you check those listings online. Visit sacc.tv for more information. Check out our Facebook page on Schenectady Online with Joe Kelleher. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves.